Good morning, teacher. I hope you're doing well.
Good morning, Sam. I'm doing great, thank you. How about you? You look like you have something on your mind.
You're right. I actually do. I really need your help with my English learning. I feel like I'm struggling, and I'm not making the progress I hoped for.
Ah, I see. It's perfectly normal to feel that way sometimes. Learning a new language is challenging, and every learner faces some bumps along the way. What exactly is bothering you?
Well, it's just. I feel like I get bored really fast when I try to practice. You recommended that we read books in English to improve our vocabulary, and I've been trying. But honestly, I find myself losing interest almost immediately. I really want to improve, but I don't know what to do. Can you help me, please?
Absolutely, Sam. First of all, let me say that what you're experiencing is very common. When we start learning something new, we tend to have high expectations, but we often don't realize that staying motivated is half the battle. I think I might have an idea of what's going on.
Really? What do you think the problem is?
You know, one of the biggest mistakes that many English learners make is choosing materials that don't interest them. Let me ask you, what type of books are you reading?
Well, mostly textbooks, and sometimes I try reading classic literature in English because I heard that it's good for building vocabulary. I thought reading serious books would help me improve faster.
Ah, there it is. Here's the thing, Sam, if you're not genuinely interested in the material you're reading, you'll lose motivation very quickly. Learning a language should feel engaging, even fun. If it feels like a chore, you're not going to want to keep going, and that's exactly what's happening here.
I never thought of it that way. So, you're saying that the problem is with the type of books I'm choosing?
Exactly. Imagine this, if someone told you to eat your least favorite food every day because it's good for you, how long do you think you'd stick with it?
Honestly? Not very long.
Precisely. It's the same with language learning. If you're reading books or using resources that don't truly interest you, it's going to feel like a burden. So here's my advice: choose books, shows, podcasts, or any content that you actually enjoy.
Hmm, that's a great point. So instead of picking serious books, I should just look for things I'm genuinely interested in?
Yes! Think about your hobbies and interests. If you're a fan of sports, look for articles, magazines, or even YouTube channels about sports in English. If you enjoy gardening, find English resources about that. Start with subtitles if you need them, and slowly work your way up to understanding without them.
That sounds so much more exciting. I love sports, so reading and watching sports content would actually be fun for me.
There you go. And the best part is, you'll be learning English almost without realizing it. Your focus will be on the content you enjoy, and English will simply be the tool that lets you access it. That's the secret to making progress without feeling like you're forcing yourself.
This is actually very eye-opening. I guess I was trying to do what I thought was right rather than what would actually keep me engaged. Thank you, teacher, this already feels like a game changer.
I'm glad to hear that, Sam. Just remember, learning a language should be a journey you enjoy. If you're excited about what you're reading, watching, or listening to, you'll be far more likely to stick with it. Motivation is everything. Now, does that help clarify things?
It really does. This feels like a huge relief. I'll definitely start looking for English content related to sports. Are there any other mistakes I should avoid while I'm at it?
Absolutely, Sam. Another big one is comparing your progress to others.
Oh, I do that all the time. I often feel like my classmates are way ahead of me. I'll see them speaking more fluently, and it makes me feel like I'm falling behind.
That's very common. But here's the thing, everyone learns at their own pace. Just because someone else seems to be advancing faster doesn't mean that you're doing poorly. It only means that their journey is different from yours. Trying to measure your progress against someone else's will only add unnecessary pressure.
That really hits home. I have a friend, Sarah, who always seems to understand new concepts immediately. She speaks so confidently, and I sometimes feel like I'm not improving fast enough.
I can understand that. When I was learning English many years ago, I had a similar experience. I was consistently getting high grades, but then I met a classmate who outperformed me on almost every test. I later learned that she'd been studying English privately since she was a child. So of course she was ahead. Once I realized that, I understood that comparing myself to her wasn't productive. Our paths were just different.
That makes a lot of sense. I'll try to stay focused on my own progress from now on.
That's the best approach. Learning a language isn't a competition, Sam. It's about your personal journey and the progress you're making, at your own pace.
Thanks, teacher. I feel so much better hearing that. Are there any other common mistakes that I should be aware of?
Definitely. Here's another one: looking for shortcuts.
Shortcuts? What do you mean by that?
In recent years, many English learners have started believing that there's a hack to learning English quickly, like listening to English while you sleep or watching a short video every day that promises fluency in a month.
Oh! I've seen those videos. Some claim that you can learn English overnight or just by listening to certain audios.
I know, and while it sounds tempting, it's completely unrealistic. Learning a language is a gradual process. There's no magic formula. You have to put in the time, effort, and practice to see real results.
So you're saying there's no quick fix?
Exactly. That said, there are tips and tricks that can make your learning process easier. For instance, focusing on learning high-frequency vocabulary, practicing speaking with native speakers, or using language apps to reinforce what you're learning. But none of these can replace the hard work and consistency that language learning requires. There's no shortcut around practice.
I see. So instead of looking for ways to learn faster, I should focus on building consistent habits.
Precisely. Consistency is key. Stick to a routine, practice a little every day, and immerse yourself in English. Over time, you'll see real, meaningful progress. And who knows? Maybe in the future, there will be some new technology that allows people to learn languages in a month. But for now, the only proven method is practice.
All right, I get it. I'll stop looking for shortcuts and focus on building a solid foundation instead. Thank you for this advice, it's exactly what I needed to hear.
You're very welcome, Sam. Honestly, there are so many other common mistakes that students make when learning English, but I think we've covered the major ones today.
I'd love to hear more about them. Maybe we could turn it into a series for the channel. I'm sure other people would find it helpful too.
That's a wonderful idea. We could create a whole series on common mistakes and how to avoid them. If our viewers would like that, they can comment below and let us know what they'd like to learn about next.
I'm sure people will be interested. Thank you so much for all your advice today, teacher. I feel so much more motivated and ready to tackle my English learning journey.
I'm glad to hear that, Sam. Remember, learning English is a journey. Enjoy every step, be patient, and stay focused on your progress. And for everyone watching, if you found this conversation helpful, please subscribe to our channel, share this video with a friend, and click the like button if you'd like to support us.
Thanks so much, everyone. Take care and keep learning.